In the redevelopment arena, the cost of all the approvals and FSI cost and other things is so high that affordable housing in the private sector is almost a no-no.
Redevelopment Mumbai is just about to take off multifold.
Residential will always remain the largest segment because of the housing demand which is still unfulfilled so far.
We're looking at this vertical development as an opportunity to make a difference to the society.
If you see across India, the major developers are coming to MMR.
Real estate in India isn't just about buildings. It's one of the country's most powerful growth engines. The foundations of the sector were laid centuries ago through India's trading cities, industrial hubs, and growing urban centers. But the modern real estate story truly accelerated in the early 1990s when India opened its economy. Today, the sector contributes nearly 7 to 8% of India's GDP and remains one of the country's largest employers and investment drivers, shaping everything from housing and commercial development to infrastructure and urban growth. In the early 1990s, global companies entered, jobs were created, and cities suddenly had to scale faster than ever before. What followed was a massive shift from fragmented, small-scale development to structured, large-scale ecosystems that now shape how India lives, works, and grows. Over the last 3 decades, this transformation has played out across the country in different ways. Bengaluru emerged as a global technology hub, driving demand for commercial office spaces and integrated urban communities. Hyderabad established itself as a major destination for technology, pharmaceuticals, and business services. Delhi NCR evolved into one of India's largest commercial and residential markets, while Pune and Chennai strengthened their positions as key manufacturing, industrial, and innovation centers. At the same time, warehousing, logistics parks, data centers, industrial corridors, and infrastructure-led developments began reshaping the country's economic landscape. The growth of highways, metro networks, airports, and industrial clusters created entirely new real estate opportunities, extending far beyond traditional residential and commercial projects. Today, India's real estate market is valued at over 25 lakh crore rupees and is projected to cross 85 lakh crore rupees by 2030. Institutional investors, developers, and infrastructure players continue to invest heavily across sectors, reflecting confidence in India's long-term growth story. Real estate has become far more than a property market. It is now a critical enabler of economic development, employment generation, urbanization, and investment across the country. As businesses expand and industries evolve, certain cities have emerged as defining examples of this transformation. And nowhere is this transformation more visible than in Mumbai. Built on trade, commerce, and enterprise, Mumbai evolved from a cluster of 7 islands into India's financial capital and one of the country's most influential real estate markets. Today, the Mumbai metropolitan region accounts for nearly 50% of India's institutional real estate investments, making it the undisputed powerhouse of the nation's property sector. Because real estate doesn't grow in isolation, it follows jobs and in turn fuels entire ecosystems, from housing and offices to logistics, retail, and infrastructure. Quietly, over time, it became deeply linked to the way the country itself develops.
The new India is a new aspirational India. After the liberalization of the economy, when it opened up, it created opportunities for not only Indian but many global organizations. And that created an opportunity in the real estate sector for developers to build IT parks. I think we now have 750 million square feet of office space in India after that opportunity opened up. and we are looking at crossing 1 billion square feet in next 3 to 4 years. So it's a huge opportunity. What does this really mean? This means jobs, and jobs mean that it triggers demand for housing when they grow and become successful enough to be able to afford their opportunity. This triggers the growth in the economy, it stimulates the economy, and then it opens up and leads to other opportunities.
But with this growth came scale, and with scale, new challenges. Cities like Mumbai began transforming rapidly, not outward, but upward. Land became scarce, costs continued to rise, and the gap between demand and affordability started widening. For many, owning a home remained an aspiration, but increasingly, not always within the city itself. At the same time, infrastructure struggled to keep pace. Congestion, longer travel times, and constant construction became part of urban life, which meant the question was no longer just how to build more, but how to build smarter within the limits that cities already had.
The biggest change that has happened is trust. What was missing was that in a real estate transaction, delivery of the product was always a question mark, right? It is a rare product. In real estate, when you're buying homes, which could take 3 to 4 years for the project to complete, you're paying slab wise, you're paying in stages. So you're actually paying a developer to give you a product. Now, if that's the market, so be it. But where is the trust element that the project and the product will be completed and delivered on time of the quality that is promised, right? So that was missing to a very large impact on the real estate. Today, with RERA coming in, that assurity has come in.
It led to warehousing and logistics, it led to data centers, it led to shopping centers, it led to senior living, it led to student housing, and therefore the sector and the economy are on a very large scale. It's all linked to growth, it's all linked to economy, and I think we're very fortunate that we were in this period to capitalize on it. We have delivered 40 million square feet already across commercial and residential, and we now have about 35 million square feet. All of these are very large and tall buildings which we are building, so it's contributing to the landscape. We are setting net carbon zero buildings as a new benchmark. We're also setting wellness certified buildings, and therefore we are looking into the health and the wellness of the people who work or live in those developments. So we're looking at this vertical development as an opportunity to make a difference to the society and create an impact for the society.
As cities grow and demand continues to rise, affordability has become one of the biggest challenges in real estate. Rising land prices and development costs are pushing housing further away from city centers, which means, for many, the aspiration of owning a home still exists, but not always in the same location where the demand is.
The affordable definition, which was there 10 years ago, 20 years ago, has completely changed. And therefore, I would say now we're building and focusing on affordable homes for more middle class and people who are aspiring for premier and luxury living, while those being affordable.
Residential will always remain the largest segment because of the housing demand which is still unfulfilled so far. In that, I see that the affordable housing, which is the largest market, somehow is not picking up. There aren't as many players coming into that segment.
Panvel, you can still get affordable housing, but in Thane and the city of Mumbai, affordable housing is almost not there, partly due to the cost of land, the ready reckoner rate, the additional FSI cost and other things, and especially in the redevelopment arena, the cost of all the approvals and FSI cost and other things is so high that affordable housing in the private sector is almost a no-no.
The real estate sector, after 40 years and 50 years, have come about with the Real Estate Regulation Act. For us, it made no difference. But what it did, it brought discipline to the sector. It brought responsibility on the shoulders of the developer to take customers seriously. It brought customer centricity, customer obsession, compliance, regulation, etc., etc.
As the industry evolved, it also began to change from within. Regulation brought structure, transparency improved, and for the first time, trust started becoming a defining factor in real estate. Institutional capital followed, developers became more organized, and the sector slowly moved from uncertainty to accountability. At the same time, people themselves were changing. A home was no longer just a purchase. It became a space for lifestyle, work, and well-being. But even as demand matured, one challenge remained constant: space. In cities like Mumbai, where expansion is limited, growth can't always happen outward, which is why the future of real estate is increasingly turning inward, towards redevelopment. Not just creating new spaces, but transforming existing ones. And there is perhaps no example more complex or more ambitious than Dharavi.
Dharavi is the brownest of the brownfield. It is the world's largest urban renewal and is the most complex projects that I have handled. I mean, having done projects like Atal Setu or a Mumbai Metro and having been in this sector for about more than 2 decades, I find this project is by far the most challenging. At the same time, most transforming project. People have a misnomer that Dharavi is a slum redevelopment project. No, although officially there is a title, it is actually we are building a city within a city. It is the first huge step towards a slum-free Mumbai, thereby slum-free India. CES buildings that are there in South Mumbai, the town area, thousands of them are there. They are just ripe for redevelopment. The construction of Atal Setu has actually speeded up, and also metro lines, of course. They have speeded up the background environment. They have created the right condition. And the legal framework is also ready, and the government is headed by the Chief Minister, present Chief Minister, is dynamically and proactively pursuing these things. So it's a time, is exactly right time for redevelopment of CES buildings. And outside Mumbai, but within the Mumbai metropolitan region, the area towards Panvel and towards the Atal Setu or the Mumbai Trans Harbour link and the triangular portion right up to Navi Mumbai, that is the area I think I look at it for the next 20 years, which is going to be the basic, most dynamic in terms of development of real estate and also the business growth.
Projects like Dharavi show just how complex urban development can be. Scale, density, infrastructure, and human realities all intersect in one place. And to navigate challenges like these, real estate is beginning to rely on something more than just experience. Technology is no longer just supporting real estate, it's shaping it. From mapping demand to planning entire developments, data and AI are making decisions faster, sharper, and more precise. What was once driven by instinct is now driven by insight.
I think what has happened now, and with the help of data analytics and AI, that you will have much more demand-led and informed decision-led real estate development, which was not the case earlier.
Technology as no longer a tool which is there. Technology is going to become embedded in every aspect of our life, right? We are at a inflection point on technology, and hence we see a lot of corporate developers coming into the market, into this real estate foray, as well as the existing developers have upped their act. They have become more well governed, they are structured, and they are delivering products on time.
For decades, owning a home was seen as a milestone, but a new generation is beginning to question that idea, choosing flexibility, mobility, and financial alternatives over long-term ownership.
Real estate was being seen as probably not that essential. You know, there was a new Gen Z which was arguing whether I want to buy real estate or invest that money in equity markets. I can simply rent, for example. That was one change that I saw. Suddenly Gen Z realized that if you're doing a hybrid work from home, they need a better environment, they need a quality environment, they need proper infrastructure even at home if they're working from home. So that was one fundamental change.
If you look at the numbers from 2021 onward, across India, the various cities, people have realized buying their own house, and then the volume, people started buying the house, people moved from the rental houses to the own houses, people moved to the larger houses with the deck and the lifestyle facility, that in the situation like pandemic, they have to stay for a number of months at home. Still they are able to do work and they are able to enjoy the lifestyle facilities and all. So that has helped big way. Industry has improved, the velocity has improved, and customers have become well mature.
Real estate was not just a roof over your head, they want this to be a part of their entire lifestyle. So what does that really mean? People have become more health conscious after COVID. They need a proper gym in the society. They need a swimming pool. Earlier it was more of a novelty, but now it is wellness and health. So that correlation, which was associated with luxury, has now turned into a necessity.
All these things are making a sea change for the purposes of putting this house in order. Challenges are many. Obviously, infrastructure of the city, road width availability, mobility, travel time, congestion on roads, cars too many, vehicles too many, and also the fact that a lot of reconstruction is taking place in terms of adding metro lines, flyovers and other things which are there. So on both sides, one, a positive action in terms of redevelopment, a lack of infrastructure to meet the kind of growth which we are seeing in the city. But I guess the government is working on those challenges.
Many global, mostly all global organizations, Indian or overseas, now want to be part of green buildings. That is a qualification. And they will go to those development where the developers have taken enough steps to ensure that. When they add amenities and other things, it definitely brings premium to the development and the overall appeal of the commercial development, and therefore the tenants are willing to pay a premium to be part of those developments. We build spaces which impact your life responsibly and sustainably. That is what we do. It leads to a very strong trust, and the fact that we are so customer focused and centric, it holds the brand value.
As India continues to grow, real estate is entering its next phase. Cities are expanding beyond traditional boundaries. New corridors are emerging, and infrastructure is beginning to reshape how people move and connect. At the same time, technology is changing how decisions are made, from data-driven planning to smarter, more efficient development. The focus is no longer just scale, but sustainability, efficiency, and long-term impact. Because in the end, real estate isn't just about structures. It's about the spaces that define how people live, how cities function, and how a nation moves forward. And that story is still being built.